Hey there folks, welcome back to the Dice Odyssey. I'm Kaz. Today I'm going to get into just a very quick video, I think, over the Golden Mushroom expansion for Tiny Epic Quest. You can see I got my little item meeples. I'm still getting used to calling them that instead of just standard meeples. Amazingly cool little item meeples. I love these things. You see them got my weaponry and my boomerang and all the other things up here. Makes you feel like Zelda, right? Old 8-bit, 16-bit days. Even a little bit of some of the new stuff too, kind of. But anyway, if you haven't seen our Tiny Epic Quest review, I recommend you go back and check that out. Myself and Brian, we get into the nuts and bolts of this game and describe what we do love and what we do not like about it necessarily, which... spoilers, there's not much we don't necessarily like about it. But anyway, go back and watch this, because if you haven't seen that or you don't know anything about Tiny Epic Quest anyway, if you haven't seen any other reviews anywhere else, then you're not going to really understand this part. And quite frankly, this is something that actually came with the deluxe edition of this game. It was made available on the Kickstarter that this game was a part of. I'm going to go ahead and get it over here to show you exactly how things change, and then I'm going to get back with my final thoughts on it. So let me show you what actually comes in the Golden Mushroom expansion. There, putting back where the nose is. All right, so you're going to get all these cute little mushrooms, which I'm sorry, they came straight from Super Mario or some other game from the 8-bit era probably. And then you're also getting a bunch of map cards, okay? Okay, the first thing is, each one of these Golden Mushroom grottos, you're actually going to return any one of these little Golden Mushroom dudes back to basically the Golden Mushroom pile, just the discard pile, and gain whatever it says in the Golden Mushroom Grotto. So for example, this one says take any Goblin token in play and place it in your discard pile. This one says immediately gain a quest card from the quest row and its reward. This one says advance your spell token one space in the spell library. Okay, so what you're doing really is you're upgrading the 3 that you're replacing, because the game actually tells you to get rid of these, or I'm sorry, to push them to the side. You're not going to include them in the game. So for example, deal 1 punch to a goblin that one of your heroes is attacking. The other one says just go ahead and take the token, right? So that's even better. This one says advance one of your heroes 1 space on a temple track. Okay, the other one says go ahead and take the quest card. So you might have been going for a quest card when you went to that temple. That actually kind of makes sense. Same thing for this. It says conjure 2 on the magic track. Okay, the other one straight up says move your spell token as if you had already gotten to the magic part of the track you wanted to get to. So again, these are basically high-end upgrades, or these over here are basically high-end upgrades for these. Idea of how you get these Golden Mushrooms. I'm not going to hit every rule in the game, just going to give you the general idea of it. They're basically being held hostage by these daggum goblins, okay? So once your hero gets over there and you kill that goblin, you're going to take not only the goblin token, but you're also going to gain the Golden Mushroom, okay? And now they're going to be put directly in your castle, okay? And you can actually hold them there until the end of the game, and they count for 2 points at the end of the game. But if you want to use them in those Golden Mushroom grottos, you can now escort them out of your castle. So, for example, you leave, and the little is going to follow your guy wherever you go, and that's considered the escort phase. And you can escort them pretty much all over the map. Now, if you escort them through a map that actually has a mushroom grotto in it, you also gain 1 power on your power meter on your player board. That's another cool aspect. Let's say another player has golden mushrooms in his castle. Well, now you can take a couple of your guys and actually go and steal those golden mushrooms out. Basically, you have to be able to overpower however many of his people are at the castle to take the golden mushrooms. So in this case, there's 1 of him and 2 of us. Guess what? We're going to muscle in just like the mafia and take them. They're coming with us. And in general, that's pretty much what you're getting with the Golden Mushroom expansion. I really like it a lot, actually. I think it's going to be something I play with almost every time. Because ultimately, let me put it this way, does playing with the standard Mushroom Grottos, is that easier to play with? I mean, a tiny bit, only because it removes 1 extra step in doing things, right? With the Golden Mushroom expansion, you are, in a sense, forced to go. I mean, you can go into other people's castles and steal their mushrooms away if they've already gotten them, but you're kind of forced to go and fight the goblins right off the bat, and that's cool because you need to be doing that to upgrade your health anyway. But the fact is that it is one more step, right, to using certain grottos that you would use, that would normally you would have just gone to the standard grottos before without having to take that extra step. And again, depending on how you play the game, it may not be a big deal, but it's a minor difference, but it does add one more step. That's the main difference, really. Besides the fact that the Golden Mushroom grottos are stinking OP, man. They are they feel overpowered. And I don't say that in a bad way. I actually like the idea because they're making you go that extra step to do this. I like the idea that you want to go ahead and actually go to the mushroom grottos and you have an opportunity to go ahead and trade in whatever mushrooms, those little golden, cute, little happy toad-looking mushrooms. You want to trade them in, kind of like melt them down to use their power, so to speak, right?
Please don't throw us in there! Please, oh no!
I know that sounds pretty gruesome, but anyway, they're mushrooms. They'll get over it. They go on my pizza. So anyway, what I'm saying is, though, is that it's really cool because think about it. I mean, instead of going and advancing another space on the temple track, well, why not go and just get a quest card from the row? Because you might be going to the temple just to get that quest card anyway, right? So it kind of does a replacement for each one of those mushroom grottos that it overpowers that grotto, so to speak. It's almost like the standard grotto's got an upgrade, right? And they upgraded what the ability was to an even higher extent. For example, the older grotto for magic, it says conjured 2 magic, advance the magic token forward 2 spaces on the magic track. Well, this new one's like, hey, why don't you just go ahead and advance your spell token? You know, it just goes ahead and takes care of that issue for you. Or one of my favorites, take any goblin token in play and place it in your pile, right? The other one was just say, hey, deliver a punch, basically. So it is kind of an OP, overpowered version of that grotto, and that's really cool. I like anything that increases that the amount of things that you can do in the game. Also, one other thing I do like is the fact that it also, you know, when you're playing Tiny Epic Quest, and again, I don't want to give too much of what I've already said in the other review. When you're playing it, there's not a whole lot of interactivity between the players, but you almost feel at times like, you know, what they're, I mean, you do feel at times like what they're doing, you know, is going to affect you because of the die rolls at night and things like that. But in this version of the game, the mushroom expansion, it actually increases a little bit of that interactivity between the players, because now it's almost like you're doing take that element, right? You're like, oh, I see you got some mushrooms in your castle. I'm going to just head right over there and take them from you. You know what I mean? So there's that as well. You have to, you know, overpower the guy at the castle to steal the mushrooms. And I like anything that increases interactivity between players, because this game in and of itself is almost like a giant puzzle. You're puzzling things out to try to work to your advantage to complete the game, get the most points. So anyway, I also like the idea that you go through grottos if you have a mushroom and you're actually, you know, who likes escort quests in any video game, right? Or board game for that matter. Well, in this game, it's actually okay, because if you escort in between regular grottos or even the Golden Mushroom grottos, you get extra power added to your player board. So again, I like all the little aspects of it. I like the fact that you have to that it just changes the game up just enough, not so much to make it complicated, because again, I could easily throw this in with pretty much every game I'm playing, and it's not going to do it. I could play with new players who are coming into this, and I don't think it's going to make a big amount of difference. I like it quite a bit. The Golden Mushroom expansion, I think, is a must-have. I mean, and most people who have this game are probably going to have it anyway. So anyway, thank you so much for watching Dice Odyssey videos. This gets high praise from me. Love it, love it, love it. Play with it. Changes the game up just enough to make it even better, right? And I already thought this couldn't get much better. So anyway, thank you so much. You have a blessed day, and game away.